Hi, my name is Dick Rhodes, and what we want to do here today is show you a little video clip of some of our accessory items. And our newest one is our router plate. As we did the woodworking shows last winter, and we talked to those of you that were interested in the TrueTrac system, we asked what accessories that you most wanted to see added, and the router plate came in number one. One of the things that we've really tried to do, as we've tried to do throughout the whole system, is make it simple, make it easy to work with, and make it dead on accurate. So basically, your router plate consists of two different pieces. You've got your adapter plate, which is going to run on the track, and this works just like your saw adapter plate. The bevel's riding on the bevel's locked into place. And so that's going to control everything. And then we've got our router plate. Now, I was involved in working with router tables many years ago, and one of the frustrations that I heard from customers was how difficult it was for them to center the router on the router plate. So what we have done is something that we think is really pretty remarkable in its simplicity. Each of the router plates has a 1/4-inch hole drilled in the center of it. Now there's also some notches on the edges, and I'll get to those in a little bit. But basically, when you go to install your router on our router plate, the easiest way to do it is to simply take and put it on your track, so that way it's held in place. You then take your router, and obviously want to make sure the router is unplugged, or if it has no power coming to it. And this one, I've already taken the base off. On this base, you're going to have usually a black, in this case plastic base that comes on here. You simply take that off and put a 1/4-inch straight bit in. Now with the 1/4-inch bit in place, what you're going to do is simply bring it in and line it up on the 1/4-inch hole. Now adjust your depth so that it's not riding up in the air. Kind of figure out where you want your handles to be. And then simply come in and mark, in this case, your 3 holes. Now you can do that with a small punch, and that's the easiest way to do it. Small punch, small screw, small nail. Once you got your holes marked, what you're then going to do is take the router out of the way. And you're simply going to take a drill bit the same size that your screws are and drill out those 3 holes. In this case, some routers will have 4. Now, once we drill out the holes, we're going to come into the bottom side. And the bottom side is always going to match up with the grooves up here. And we're going to take an 82-degree countersink, and we're going to countersink those, being careful not to go too deep. What we want is the head of the screw to go just below the surface. And that is probably the easiest way that I have ever seen anybody mount a router to a router plate. Now obviously, to mount the router to the plate, what you're going to do is take the motor out of the base. Just like so. Set that off to one side. And then all we have to do is line up our holes with the router base. And drop our screw in. And just repeat that in this case 2 more times. What I always like to do is put them in to where they're not super tight. And then that gives you the ability to make some minor adjustments. And you can bring your other 2 screws and match them in just like so. And all we're doing here is we're using the same screws that were on the bottom of your router that we're holding on the plastic sub base. What we've tried to do is make the router plate were the same thickness as most of the subplates. Now obviously you can never do that all the time, so you may have to go out and get some different screws. Don't know, every router is a little different. But folks, in real time, what you have just seen is how easy it is to hook a router up to the TrueTrac router plate.